book is called The Mind of Boys, and it is rich with principles about the way that boys' minds work. And I've taken these principles and I'm going to apply them to the ways that we can homeschool and educate our boys. The book is called The Mind of Boys, and it was written by Gurian and Stevens, and the ISB number is 978-1118-041116. That being said, as a personal disclaimer, I don't necessarily agree with everything that's in this book, but there's so much wonderful things that are in here. It's definitely worth looking into. The Minds of Boys has so many wonderful principles in it that I'm actually going to make a series of videos. Today's video, I'm going to focus on the first 3 boy blocks. And what I mean by boy blocks is a principle that I've pulled out of the book that I'm going to apply to our learning and to our lives. So the ones that we're going to focus on today are that boys are very hands-on, boys need physical movement, and boys need to manipulate that which is physical. Now I'm going to take these boy blocks or principles and I'm going to show you some ideas of how you can apply them and implement them into your homeschooling or just into your son's life. Okay, I'm going to start out with some ideas on how we can implement these boy blocks into history. Here's one idea. If you have a younger son and you're studying ancient Egypt, to really bring it to life, go to the Goodwill. Do not let your daughters know that you're doing this. And buy a doll. Come home and follow a mummification procedure. Allow your son, or with your help, to cut the doll open. Remove the doll's organs. You can talk about organs and put a little science in there. Have some cut up strips of an old pillowcase or something, which you can soak in embalming fluid. Take a little water, add a little bit of ammonia, and you can have some really stinking embalming fluid. Soak it all up, let your son wrap that doll up. You've got a mummy. You could also get on the internet, look up a map of ancient Egypt, get out your Duplos, your blocks, your Legos, and build it up. If you're studying King Tut, get a shoebox and fill it with his treasures. Now, if your son's a little bit older, a great way to make history hands-on and physically manipulated is to take a poster board. Now, moms, you would have to read ahead of where you are studying so you would have an idea of what to have ready. But you can take that poster board and make it into the landscape of whatever battle or period in history that you're studying. You can make the landscape 3D by using Play-Doh or clay or Legos or little squares of tissue paper that you take the end of a pencil and then you kind of make it like this and you glue it on. You can make prairies, or you can use the dough to make the mountains or the rivers, whatever. Make the landscape. And then you could take minifigs or toy soldiers or paper people and have your son act out as you're reading the history stories. Have him, instead of just listening, physically move and manipulate the story within the landscape. Now, science obviously is one of the easier subjects to make hands-on or manipulative. Here are some ideas. Make an animal habitat out of a shoebox. Make it into a shadow box. Make a field guide. In other words, go to the zoo and help your son make a book, something like this, where you would study the different animals and have your son write down the facts that he's discovering in the field. Of course, you can really make your son happy by raising various small animals. I mean, the best school teachers I ever had growing up were the ones that had a whole row of hamsters and birds and lizards and stuff like that. Build models, of course, and there's so many wonderful books out there with science experiments, and science is one of the easiest subjects for you to make hands-on. As far as math goes, this set of blocks helped me tremendously when my sons were quite young, and I'm going to show you just a couple of quick examples of how you can use them. So, as far as multiplication goes, you can ask your son, how much is 4 5s? 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 10, 15, 20. 4 5s is 20. So if I had 40 and I wanted to divide it into stacks of 5, or 40 divided by 5, how many stacks would I get? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 40 divided by 5 is 8. So what about literature? How do we make literature more hands-on? Here are a few ideas. This is something that one of the teachers that my student taught for did when she was reading the Little House on the Prairies series with her class. She had a long table set up on the side of her classroom, and as they were reading, the children would bring from home articles that you could find from that time period. Lanterns, or whatever it was that went along with that book series. You can do that with any book. Another fun way to do it would be to not allow your son to talk, but have him retell what he learned in the book playing charades. So you're guessing, trying to figure out what he's acting out. You can make a timeline. You can design a book cover about the story. Recreate your favorite scene in any art form or via acting out. Geography. Of course, geography, there's so many wonderful ways you can bring geography to life and make it manipulative and hands-on. You can cook food from that country. You can make topographical maps from that country. But here's something also really fun that I did with my co-op students one year. I just took some paper, cut it out into this shape, and had each student, let's see, this student was studying the festivals of China. So this represents the Clear and Bright Festival, this represents Chinese New Year, and this is the Mid-Autumn Festival, which honors the moon. Then after they've finished their thing, you're going to actually make it into a triangle, like this. And you would, at this point, kind of draw a line here, cut off the excess paper from the sides by just drawing yourself a little line. Tape it together and punch a hole so that what you end up having looks like this. Now this one was about the Chinese invented the abacus. This one is that they use these little circle wheels to do exercising in the Chinese schools. And then this is some Chinese writing. There's 8,000 characters that you have to learn in Chinese. There's not letters of the alphabet. Then after you've turn all of your little triangles put together, then you could stick it all on to this, and then you've got yourself like a little three-dimensional. You would put several on here, and then you could take some square paper plates or a piece of wood or whatever, and to help it stand up. So I hope today's video gave you some practical ways to implement the boy blocks or the principles of boys learn by hands-on activities, they learn by being physically active, and they learn by manipulating that which is physical. Drop us a like, subscribe, and watch our other videos.